So some of you may have noticed that a few things have made it onto my website. I have made the two frames, which are now here, and I've just completed two sets of coasters, which are also here, and I'm going to do more. The process is really slow. So with the frames and the coasters, I decided to varnish them to give them a bit of a longer life. And the varnish looks great. I really like the effect it gives. It enhances the colours, but it takes forever to dry. It says 24 hours for full coat dry, but it takes at least 36, and I'm generally leaving them 2 days. So it takes a while to get stuff done. The other thing I've been trying to do is to decoupage these. No, does not work. Impossible. So I found amongst all my boxes of craft stuff some glitter, so I thought it would be good to do glitter. So I've kind of, you can see that in this against this light, I have glittered two sets so far. I've glittered those ones, and I've glittered the green leaves. I've only got minimal colours, so I'm just working with what I've got, and I've tried to do the varnish on that to seal the glitter in. And doing it with the paintbrush, which is the way I've been varnishing, again, is a definite no-no. So I'm going to have to buy, you can buy the varnish in like a spray can. So I'm going to do that for these because I think it's going to do a better job. And so I've got a couple of sets of those. I have one other set to do. So I've done a gold set of leaves, and then I have two more sets of glitter. So I have a blue and I have a red, and I'm probably going to do a couple of sets of these, but I'm not enjoying that process at all. It's messy. My flat stinks of varnish now because I'm having to do this in my studio, which means I can't use my studio for anything else now. There's glue and glitter and all sorts of stuff everywhere, and it means I can't get on with sewing projects that I now have. So I'm not going to be doing many more of those, I've got to be honest with you. I still have 3 more sets of coasters to do, and I'm hoping to find a day next week when I can go out and do a traipse of some charity shops in a town I've not been to nearby. I'm not going to go far. I have I'm watching the budget. I'm keeping a list of everything I've spent so far starting this new department, and I'm keeping track on how much I've made so far. I think I have made more money than I've spent, so I think this department is in profit. I'll just have a look. So let's have a look. I've spent £25 on materials so far, without that spray glue, which I haven't bought yet. Postage so far has cost me £12.25, and so far in total I have made £65. So I've made about half profit again on what I've spent. So that's okay for now, but obviously I need more materials now. I need more interesting and more things to decorate, and I really want to get those from Unwanted and Charity Shop. And I'm also going to be needing more napkins. You know, I only have about, I think it's 4 designs I've got, and I can't just keep doing the same ones over and over again. I need to inject some new stuff in now. So I'm hoping to get that day next week where I can go out and get some new stuff. You know, in this town there will be places where I can look for packs of napkins and things, and if I can inject a few more new colorways in, a few more new patterns, that will really help. I have been binging ideas on how I can expand on the decoupage department of my website, and I've spent some time on Google and Pinterest getting ideas, and I've already uploaded a bunch of stuff which you can see, and I have some things that I'm still working on. I had a little brainstorming moment that, as well as the paper napkins for decoupage, you can use wrapping paper. Now, I don't have a lot of wrapping paper, but I do tend to hoard nice wrapping paper. So I've had a look round and I've found a couple of samples, which I'll show you now. So I have these rather lovely bees on a pale grey, and I've already made some coasters with that on, as you can see there. And I also found this wonderful partridge in a pear tree paper, which I've probably had for a few years. Look at them, they're so pretty. And I have quite a chunk of this. Some of it's damaged, you can see where it's got crease marks, it doesn't hold very well, but there's enough on there to make a few things. So I decided to do a set of coasters. And look, I've varnished them as well, and I think they look fab. I've made a set of 4 of these, and they look pretty good. So they're not up yet, as of recording. I've also looked at doing desk tidy and storage jar sets, because I'm also a hoarder of jars, and that is because I do a lot of like foraging and frugal living, and bottling fruit particularly is one of my things. So I tend to keep a lot of jars, because jars with metal lids are great for bottling fruit for long-term storage. Particularly it's blackberry season and I'm bottling up loads of that. So I've had a look and I've pulled out some jar sets that I have in some individual jars. So I have some fun shapes. I've got this hexagonal one. It's only a single one, but I think that will look lovely when it's done. I have a pair of these really nice, these were jam, posh jam. A lot of these come from my parents because they buy expensive stuff, and it tends to mean that their packaging is more interesting than if I buy a bog standard Saver brand, which will give you a jar like this. So back in the day when I was buying full price, I would buy peanut butter in jars like this. So I've got quite a few of these, so I can make up some nice sets of 2 and 3, which will make nice little matching storage sets or desk tidies. Perfect for pens and little bits and pieces like that. So I'll make those as sets. I also have this as a one-off. I don't know what this brand is, but this is pretty. That's Christmas. That's a Christmassy one, but I like that as it is, and I think I can decoupage around the top and the bottom and create something rather pretty out of that as a Christmas, like a tea light jar. I think that'd be really pretty. So I've got quite a few sets of these jars that I can now cover with some of the serviettes that I've still got. I have also looked at tin cans. I don't get many of those either. I don't buy a lot of canned goods, but when I do, I can hang on to those. So I've got 2 cans. These don't quite match because this was a ring pull one. Ring pull ones are better because they don't have a sharp edge on the top. The other ones do, so I'm going to have to work on that to make sure it's safe. But I can cover those. Those, again, make great little desk tidies, and you get that nice ribbed effect through it. And the other thing I was looking at was eggs. You can decoupage eggs. Look at that. These are real eggs, so I do eat eggs, but instead of cracking the egg to use it, you can blow the egg. So if you punch a hole in the top and the bottom and blow the egg out from the inside and keep the egg intact, here you go. I have a set of 3 of these. I've just done them as eggs, like you could put them in a display bowl or something, but in fact, with the holes, what you could do, and what I may well do, is particularly when things like Christmas is coming up, is through the hole in the top is attach a ribbon or a hook, and they've made lovely little Christmas tree decorations. So I'm also looking at doing that, and again, that's an as and when thing. So as and when I eat some eggs, there will be eggs. So there's those. So with the idea of wrapping paper being useful, I can say, like, to my parents who tend to keep all their nice jars and things for me, and then I look through them when I visit and pick out the ones I want. So maybe I can do the same thing with wrapping paper as well. And one other thing that I've been looking at that I might try is decoupage pump dispensers. So when this is finished, give it wash and clean up, strip off the labelling that's there in whatever way you need to. This is like a plastic one, I can feel the edge of it, I can peel that off. You can decoupage all this, and these pump bottles will keep working, so those are going to be a great, like a personalised decorated one that someone could have in their bathroom or in their kitchen. If I varnish it, it'll be waterproof, and then they can fill it with whatever they want to have in it. Might be like lotion or hand wash by the sink. I've got a few of these that are almost empty, so as and when they are finished, that's another one to give a go. And I've seen lots of people doing that on the internet. I'm just trying to expand this area of work because it's a lower price point, which is going to be easier to shift than a £150 dress or something. It's also easier to send. These are easier to put in the post and send at a better rate. I can get decent rates, and these aren't heavy. They're slightly bigger, but they're not heavy, so that's okay. And they're great for things like gifting. So if people are wanting to send gifts, but they don't want to do the usual go down the shop type thing, or they want something different, or they know who they're buying for and they're looking for that one thing. So something like these really cute little coasters, which I will only have one set of 4 of when they go online, are going to be a wonderful, unique present. I think these are absolutely gorgeous, and I do want to make more of those. And I may be able to. I will look at whether or not that paper will work on jars, because once it's glued on and fully lacquered, they do tend to hold really well. And the same with these. These could be really good. I haven't lacquered this. I like the parchment effect that you get with these. If you can see that. Doesn't want to play the game. But they have a lovely parchment papery effect to them, which I really like. But I might do some with the varnish as well. The varnish works really well. I love this stuff because it washes off with warm water and kitchen soap like you clean your dishes with. So I'm not faffing around with white spirit and stuff like that. If you get it on your hands, just wash your hands with warm water and soap. And then if it's still a little bit sticky, put a little bit of baby oil on your hands and it just disappears. So that's a really good product. I'm really enjoying using that. And it's just creating a nice additional effect and protecting the napkins or the paper that I'm using. It just seals everything in nicely. But yeah, I just keep looking at these because these are just the prettiest things. Look, and there's gold pears and partridges, and I think they're just absolutely stunning. Gorgeous colours as well. Great that I've been able to reuse that paper. I knew there was a reason I was hanging on to it. I've probably had it a few years. So I've got lots and lots to get on with. So keep watching the home decor section and the candle section of my website, because there's going to be a lot more stuff going up. So that's this bit of the update, and then I will come back when I have bought the spray glue, which I think I'm going to order online because I haven't seen it in any shops, and give that a go and feedback on how that looks. And then hopefully by then I'll have been to a charity shop or 2 or 3 or 4 and have found some more things to decorate. Right, so I've tried some charity shops with no luck. I probably went to the wrong place. I went into Manchester because I wanted to go and see a film. I went to see The Salt Path, which was fantastic. And while I was there, I thought I'll go into the charity shops and see what's there. Not a good idea. It's just such a trendy place that they don't have the kind of stuff that I would normally be looking for what I'm looking for. So it's all trendy clothes, and it's all vintage, and it's shoes. It's none of the dust gatherers, that sort of thing that I'm looking for this new craft section. So Today I have been out in my local town because I've been getting really frustrated because I need new designs, new pictures, new patterns, new colourways in what I'm doing. I have plenty of the old designs, but it's starting to look a bit samey now, so I need something new. So there were a couple of card shops. There was TK Maxx and Poundland. So I've been and had a look, and because I know that now that I can also use wrapping paper, that opens up what I can get. So I found some fab little designs. I was looking online, so I was looking at Etsy and eBay looking for paper napkins, and they've got some fantastic designs which I desperately want, but they're selling them in like 2 napkins for £1.50 sort of thing. And if I can buy a whole pack for less than £2, it doesn't make sense unless the design is something that I really want, and there are a couple of designs that I am desperate for. It doesn't make any sense for me to do that at the moment until I've built up enough of a profit that I can, you know, speculate, invest to speculate, that sort of thing. So I went into Card Factory, and I'm also trying to find stuff that's a little less girly. Everything is very much geared towards women, and I wanted some designs that were also suitable for, particularly where I'm making things like the desk tidies. It will, you know, someone might want to gift a male friend of theirs or a male relative a nice desk tidy, but they don't want to give them pink flowers and stuff. Maybe they do. They don't all want to. So I've had a look for some designs for that. Really struggled to find anything. I found 2 things. So one is this striped paper from Card Factory. I like this because it feels like paper. It's not shiny. And what I could do is embellish other things on top of it. So I'm going to use that. I also managed to get this design in TK Maxx, which I really like these designs. That's a bit more retro. I love the retro designs. In the range, I managed to get some more sets of coasters. They still had some of those ones that I've bought before on sale, and now I think actually they're the same price. And there was a pack there that they're slightly water damaged, but it's only on the surface, so it'll be absolutely fine once I finish with them. So I've got 3 sets of 4 there. That's the only actual thing I managed to get to use. But some other designs I got. Look at these fabulous little octopus designs. I just love these. I'm going to have some fun with that. And to almost match it, they had some blue shells. Now these packs were, some of them are £1.99 and some are £2.49, but there's like 20 in a pack. I think there's 20 in a pack here. I can't really tell. It's either 20 or, is it 20 or 40? Can't decide. Yeah, 40 in a pack like this. So these are fantastic investments, really, because I can really have fun with these. I also found some more bees, not the same. Look at these gorgeous little bees. These are napkins, so I'm going to see what I can do with those. And I also, in TK Maxx, they do a lot of V&A designs. So they've got these gorgeous cockatoos on lovely orange and blue. There's 4 sheets in there, but it was £1.99. I think that's quite a good one as well. And I bought some, I also bought some white paint because I messed up making my desk tidies. So I decoupaged them and then I varnished them, and they've gone completely translucent, which isn't horrific, but I kind of wanted it to be brighter. So what I did, I had a look to see if, can I do the insides, because I've seen people do this. So that's how it looks. But if I then put paper inside, you can see that really brightens up the design. So I've bought some white paint, and I'm going to paint and then lightly varnish the insides as well, which wasn't on my list of things to do, but I've managed to solve that problem. My gloss varnish has arrived, my spray one, so now I can attempt to get those glitterized coasters done. And I've got quite a nice range of stuff now. All I need now is more things to decorate. And on that note, I need to say a huge thank you to Joe, who donated me some things. So I've got some potential hanging stroke coaster bases and some fun little ceramics that I can decorate hanging things as well. So you'll have to wait to see those, because I'm thinking about how I can decorate those. Anyway, so stuff to get on with. Tomorrow I think I'm going to go on another big charity shop binge, but in a place where I think they're much more likely to be the things that I need. So I'm going to get on with that tomorrow, and then I will show you how I'm getting on with everything else. It's coming together, and then I will keep showing you stuff as and when. I've had quite a good week on sales. I've made a few sales from my shop. Some more of my stuff has sold, so somewhere within this update it says that a couple of things have sold out, because they only make one of anything. Everything sells out when it sells, which is kind of good in its own way. So June is now a better month already, so I'm feeling quite buoyant, quite bouncy and full of energy. I almost hyperventilated though when I was out shopping, because I went to 4 different shops and spent money in each one, and it's only small amounts. I only spent a total of £17.35 on all the things that I bought, which are all investments back into what I'm doing. But I'm not used to shopping like that. I'm definitely a frugal lifestyler, and I don't go mad. I felt like I was impulse shopping, because I spent ages debating which designs I wanted to pick up, what I thought I would use the best, what was going to be different. I'm concerned that my stuff is going to look like everyone else's. So I have binged on Pinterest and Google and what have you, and Etsy, looking to see what people are doing and getting ideas from that. But I don't want to just make the same stuff that everyone else is doing. It needs to have its own edge to it. So I need to think about how I'm going to add my mark to it. But I still I'm still a little bit on a learning curve at the moment, just finding what works best. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. This is a much easier way for me to create things and get them up and for sale and what have you. I've done some more eggs this morning, 3 more eggs. So I've made this little insect and flower design. Got 3 of those. I think I am going to have them all on little strings. I'm going to put coloured strings on them so they can be hung wherever. So hopefully once I've got a couple of sets of those finished, I can put those up. So plenty to get on with. Feeling creative and practical, and like I'm starting to feel like I'm going down the right route now for this extra department of things. So my next job is going to be spraying the glittered things, and then I can add those, because I think those will be great little coasters as well. It's turning out to be, June's already turning into quite a good month for stuff.